Anything else, Jen?
Just the fights that are coming up this weekend.
Oh, Lordy, we got one. They've been just giving us appetizers with these fight nights at the Apex, and it's just all been building up to this Saturday. UFC 308 is a fine card. It is fantastic. And we will be doing a fight campaign in Austin, Texas with Mr. Joe Rogan, Eddie Bravo, Brian Cal, myself. The original OGs are back. I cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun to see everybody. For UFC 308, it is just going to be a glorious time. You got Topuria versus Max Holloway as your main event. Probably the best fight the UFC could possibly make in any division. You got Robert Whittaker versus Khamzat Chimaev. Oh, I love both those fights. Magomed and Ankalaev versus Rakit's a fun one. I'm kind of rooting for Rakic in that. It's going to be a tough fight for him. Our boy, the Pirates fighting, Petrosian. You got Jeff Neal, Dos Anjos, Said Nigurmurtov, Daniel Santos. Yeah, solid ass card. Where are you guys at on Robert Whittaker Khamzat? We'll get out of here after this. I know we get going because we have another show. Robert Whittaker Khamzat. Let me pitch you on this. Everyone knows I was the conductor on that train. The Khamzat train, I was all over him. When it was when we were in lockdowns and he's just mopping the floor with everybody like every other week at the fucking UFC Abu Dhabi thing they were doing out there, right? He was mopping the floor with everybody. And he's had some hiccups, right? He fought Gilbert Burns, which we're like, oh, he's gonna starch him. Gilbert's small. And like, all right, that was a tougher fight than I expected. This isn't great. He looked kind of gassed, didn't take it serious. That's just game planning. Then he misses weight. Remember, he's supposed to fight Nate Diaz. We were all upset. I defended Nate, thought it was fucked up. And they switched that from the blowback, and they gave him Kevin Holland because, again, he missed weight. And he absolutely ragdolled Kevin Holland at 180. And then you're like, all right, but there was still like a black eye on it. No pun intended. You're still like, all right, he missed weight. That's not great. They literally changed the opponent on like 40-minute notice. All right, I guess he got the win. And then he fights Kamaru Usman at middleweight. And Kamaru's not a natural middleweight. And he kind of struggled in that one. And he walked away from that. And I've done this twice now. Gilbert Burns, I'm like, that's a 5-round fight. That thing might have been tough for Khamzat. Kevin Holland, we didn't see much. Just took him down, ragdolled him, choked him out. You're like, all right, he didn't prove much there, but Kevin Holland's a tough guy, tough test. All right, catch weight. It's kind of fucked up due to Kevin Holland, but whatever. Then Kamaru Usman, who's not a real middleweight, he kind of faded in the later round there. If that was 5 rounds, Kamaru probably would have beat him. So he doesn't really have a win at middleweight. The last time he had a win at middleweight was against Gerald Meerschaert, which is no punk. He beat him in 17 seconds. That's impressive. But he really hasn't beat a middleweight. And then you're just going to jump the queue and fight the old Grim Reaper, my friend Mr. Whittaker, and y'all expect him to beat him? All signs would point to no. Especially in 5 rounds. Now, his path to victory, come out like a fucking banshee and choke him out in the first or second round. But if that doesn't happen, Khamzat's going to get exposed. Whittaker's one of the greatest middleweights of all fucking time. He's very tough to beat. He has insane endurance. He has very good wrestling. Now, Khamzat is going to get him down. I guarantee he gets him down. But unless Khamzat can absolutely mollywop him in the first or second round, if this goes to the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I would guarantee you Robert Whittaker wins. Probably pretty bad, pretty convincingly too. I'm rooting for Robert Whittaker. How can you not? There's 2 guys on there. First team all nice. Robert Whittaker and Max Holloway. Who's rooting against Max Holloway? Unless you're from Spain, I get it, or Georgia, I get it. Who's rooting against Max Holloway? And when are we going to stop doubting Max Holloway? Now, I think Max is better at 55, but Max at featherweight only loses to one guy only. His name's Alex Volkanovski. If your name ain't Volkanovski, The chance that you beat him is not good. And they've tried to shun Max away. They thought he was damaged goods, right? He lost to Volkanovski twice back to back. They went, well, that's our time with Max. It's been real, blessed one. Here's Calvin Kattar, beats him. All right, Max. Here's Yair Rodriguez, beats him. Both fight of the nights. Then he gets back to Alex Volkanovski, and Alex beats him. They're like, all right, it's okay, dude. That's your time. All right. Here's Arnold Allen. Very tough matchup for you. And we're going to do it in Kansas City, Missouri. And it's going to be 5 rounds of main event. And he beat the shit out of Arnold Allen. Like, okay, what's going on here? Okay, here's Korean Zombie. His last fight, he fucking annihilates Korean Zombie. Sorry, Chin. It's okay. And then they give him Justin Gaethje at 55. And even I was like, I hate this for him. This is a terrible idea. Justin hits too hard. He's too big. And he knocks Gaethje the fuck out in one of the greatest moments in the UFC history, if not the greatest. Points to the ground, mollywops him to the ground. It's just Max Holloway's time, you know? It's tough. My heart says Max. My head I'm always like, man, is this the fight? Is this the one that gives Max trouble? So it's a tough one to pick. Tough one to pick.
And Max and Robert are both underdogs.
Of course.
If you want to do a little parlay there.
You do a parlay with DraftKings? Promo code Schaub or Brendan?
Schaub Show, I believe.
Promo code Schaub Show?
Yep.
You do. That's not a bad, because I can see both of them winning. I'd put a little more money on Whittaker. But I can't wait. Make sure you tune in to the Fight Command. It's live on JRE's YouTube. It's the OG crew, Eddie Bravo, Callan, Mr. Joseph Rogan, and myself for one of the biggest cards of the year. 2 of the best matchups the UFC can possibly make. I cannot wait. Make sure you tune in.
This fight, like you always are upset that it's still happening, but so Mike Tyson.
I'm not upset. I'm not upset. I just don't understand it. But there has to be more to it.
So they were talking about having, like, it was kind of like up in the air with the glove size and all that stuff and the rounds, but now it's official that it's going to be 14-ounce gloves, which is better for Mike Tyson, everyone's saying, because, he's older. And then instead of 3 minutes, it's going to be 2 minutes. And
2 10s?
8 rounds, 2, yeah.
Well, that's cool. Eddie Bravo texts our group chat. He had the greatest thing. He was this, the fight's not getting much traction. He goes, if they want traction, they should do bare knuckle.
You don't know shit.
If it was bare knuckle box, you're telling me you want to watch Mike Tyson bare knuckle boxing and Jake Paul? You'd be like, oh shit, if Tyson connects, he's going to rip his face off. Then you'd be like, oh, I'm watching that. Even though he's older, like now, regular boxing, I'm like, what are we doing? I don't get it. I get Trojan Horse to get professional fighting on Netflix. I get all that. The common fan knows Mike Tyson. All right. But still, it doesn't make a ton of sense. But you tell me it's Mike Tyson bare knuckle, which you can't pretend. Bare knuckle, we're not going to pretend. Take my Eddie. I was like, dude, this is a great take. Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, bare knuckle, dude, take my fucking money. Can't pretend that there's no shenanigans there. What? Mike Tyson connects with like a flush uppercut, dude. Mike Tyson? Be like The Hangover when he knocked homeboy out. It'd be sick, dude. That would get people excited. That's what they just need. They need something like that.